Hey Ollie, we are back once again.
Yep, yep.
I have to do this. Yeah,
Back
there we
in
are.
Groove
Groove Galaxy Live Talk.
Groove
And I have to
Galaxy
check this.
Thirst
I have to
Talk.
check this. Yes,
Yep, Groove Galaxy Thirst Talk.
exactly.
So,
Jazz Fusion Live Talk.
right. Anybody out there?
Let's see if
Anybody here?
somebody is there.
Let's see. Yeah,
We will
okay.
see.
I'll do
Yeah,
the
that would be
same.
nice.
Let me check.
If
I want to know.
I'm gonna share it just like
Uh-huh.
usual on our site so everybody
Uh,
can know we are there.
yes.
And
Has Fusion Live Talk. Okay, here we
yes,
are.
so we have to start counting this actually.
Oh, right. You stop that. Okay, yeah. Uh-huh. All right. Apparently, nothing's in, right? Well, anyway.
So I'm gonna share this so everybody knows we are live.
Okay.
There we are. All right.
Mm.
And one more thing, and then we. So that was a really nice live stream yesterday. It come to my house.
Yeah, that
I
was
really
fun.
enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, that was fun. This time we chose to play with our guest Didier Delia, a singer-songwriter from Mauritius, and a real party animal, if he wants to.
Yes, we experienced this a couple of times already.
Right. He has a band, Blue Bay Music. I mean, the name is, well, not exactly my taste, but the band is great.
Yes, it's
So,
fun.
yeah, it's really fun and a great party band. And yeah, but after getting to know him a little better, I realized that he has a deeper side also, um, as a singer-songwriter, and he has a history. The guy has a real history. Um, it's not easy, I guess, to grow up in Mauritius as part of the Creole community. Because what I didn't know is that the society there is pretty much separated into Hindus and Creoles. And the Hindus have the upper hand, of course. And the Creoles stem from the slaves that once were brought over from Africa to the slave island Mauritius. And to this day, they have a well, Didier described it as a kind of self-deprecating mentality, um, and it- there was this separation movement. Um, I think like something like 30 years ago, or not more, like 50 years ago or so, it started, and there was some kind of revolution.
Hmm.
In the aftermath of that, Didier decided to leave Mauritius, and he has made quite an odyssey. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Until he finally got to Germany, met his wife, and started a completely new career. You know that his father is a military musician,
Right, and I think he's
yeah,
also I think he's a bass player, and he
right?
taught a lot of Mauritius
Right, bass
musicians,
player,
right?
tuba, sousaphone, and he also is the leader of the military band there. Didier showed some funny photos yesterday. It's quite
Mm.
unbelievable.
Yeah, so funny, really.
Yeah, and Didier is a very talented guy.
Hmm.
Nonetheless, his father told him to learn a real get a real job first. So that's why he became a cook. I don't know. He never invited me, unfortunately. But
I
he
think
told us
that
about it. He
yeah,
told
yeah,
us
that, I
about it.
think that he showed me a couple of pictures. Like once in a while, he sends me like a WhatsApp or something,
Mhm.
showing me something he cooked, and it looks really nice.
Yeah, really. Apparently, they have all kinds of, curries and roti and all that stuff there.
Mm.
So yeah,
And he's a great singer and a great songwriter. So I really enjoyed last night.
definitely.
Yeah, great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, and of course, Petra and I, aka Pao, Pao, played a couple of our own tunes.
the
And a
first
very
one I really enjoyed. The first one is such a great piece. Yeah, did you write that, or did you write it together? How do you write it?
yes,
Did
yes.
you
Yeah, we were always writing together, Petra and
Mm,
I. All that power stuff has been a collaboration.
hmm.
Sometimes she writes the lyrics, sometimes I do. Sometimes
Okay.
we write melodies together. Sometimes she writes melodies and I add chords, whatever,
Hmm. Interesting.
until it feels right. And of course, it very much depends on the piano arrangements too, because it's
Mm,
the only instrument there.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's.
with a singer like Petra, you just can't go wrong. Doesn't really matter what you play.
I'm sure she feels the other way around.
Hopefully.
Oh, great project.
And then
What a
there
nice.
was, and then there was. Did you check that out? The cover version we did of Bonnie
Yes.
by Prefab Sprout. Did you know Prefab Sprout?
No, I
No,
had never heard of them.
great band, really a great band. Was produced by Thomas Dolby.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a great LP. It's called Steve McQueen.
Hmm.
An album full of fantastic songs.
The album is called Steve McQueen.
Yes, it's called Steve McQueen. Bonnie's on that album. I really like
Wow.
that song.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. Yeah. No, that was great. Really nice evening. Yeah. So we have guests actually. Hello everybody. That's amazing. Amy
Hi
is
guys.
there. Hey. You missed last week, right? he he wrote me that he missed last week where we talked about Robin Ford and the Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, what a pity, but check it out. It's still on.
Yes, you can still. And of course, it's I don't know. How is it for you guys? Is it more interesting to watch it live, or do you sometimes watch it after the fact? I don't know. Just
Just tell
that
us
would be
about it.
interesting. That would be interesting.
Yeah, of course. Well, anyway, our topic today is another famous tune,
Yes.
um, Birdland by Weather Report, and but this time we have a cover version of that of our own.
Yeah. So first of all, let me ask you, like, how did you, like, when did you discover Joe Zawinul actually? When did you like
Ha!
get into weather reports? How was that?
Yeah, I mean, the Weather Report was one of my main influences when I was still in school.
Okay.
Yeah. While the other guys in my class were divided into sweet guys and Bay City Rollers guys.
Okay. Right.
I was a little bit odd, and that stemmed from the fact that my parents uh, got sent an LP by Oscar Peterson
Okay.
by the book club they were in,
Okay.
because they didn't order anything in that quarter.
That was Bertelsmann, or what was it?
Quarter of a year. If you didn't order anything, you got just this. You just got the suggestion of that Reader's Digest book club.
Right.
That was this time an LP. It's called Tracks by Oscar Peterson, and it's one of the greatest, to this day, one of the greatest solo piano albums there ever was.
Okay.
This thing is
I haven't heard
just,
it.
it's just amazing. It's breaking the barriers of what a pianist with his two hands can do. And
It's
it
called
completely
Tracks.
blew my
Wow.
mind. And from that point, I was hooked onto jazz. And from that point on, of course, I checked out contemporary jazz, and at that time, that was jazz fusion.
I see. Yeah.
So I was led naturally towards Weather Report.
Interesting. Yeah. So I'm a little bit younger. So for me, that was already the 80s when I started to get into fusion. So Weather Report was already kind of like I was a couple of years too late. I discovered them later on. I was more into 80s fusion, yeah, where there's already like it was a different style already, right? Like it was 10 years later, so it was a different style. So I'm really curious how like how you heard Joe Zawinul first, like all the
Zawinul.
synthesizers. I mean, that's very different than Oscar Peterson, right?
Of course. Well, when I was like 13 or 14, I played in. I grew up in a small city, and I played with the two bands in that city, or the two name bands in that city already, with my my Fender Rhodes and my
Okay.
at that time an ARP synth, and later on I switched to a Moog. Very much the same stuff I do today, right? Well, anyway, one of those bands was a fusion band,
Mhm.
and the bass player of that band was, of course, much older than I was. The guys were in their 30s already. It's a sheer wonder that they accepted me.
Mhm.
And he was a real fusion head, and he introduced me to all the greats,
Cool.
like the Crusaders, and of course, Weather Report. And well, what Joe Zawinul did with the synthesizers just felt naturally to me. It was
Mhm.
exactly what I was after.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many stories also around that band and around him. Like, it's yeah, what an influence. He
Mhm.
also like I just a couple of days ago I saw a video of him playing with Cannibal Adderley in the
Uh-huh.
'60s, and that was of course a whole different story. And
Yeah.
only 10 years later or something, it's
Uh-huh.
like it changed so much.
Some years later, I saw him in where was it? Frankfurt, I think. Yes, I drove to Frankfurt for that
Hmm.
with Weather Report, and I was blown away by the impression, which what a gruff guy he was.
Oh yeah.
Yes, not easy to get along with, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah, he was really well rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I think I post a couple of things because there's also let me check this. Um, no Beethoven, right? That
No,
that
Beethoven.
biography you got that right?
Yes, yes, I
That's a
did.
great book.
Yeah,
You guys should check that out if you're looking for something to
Peter
read.
Erskine's biography. Yes. Hmm. It's
Yeah,
fantastic. Uh,
the
I-
autobiography and
yeah.
the chronic of Weather Report.
Yes, and it really gives you insights um, into into a life with a band like that.
Mm,
How they toured, how they worked, how they worked together, how they got along with each other. Um, how well, what kind of characters they were, like
mm.
um, Jaco Pastorius on the one hand and Wayne Shorter on the other, right?
Quite the opposite characters, I guess.
Yeah, right. And big egos, all of them,
Mm,
maybe except for Peter Erskine. Um, but they all accepted the leadership of Joe Zawinul
mm.
because,
Yeah.
well, gruff or not, but the guy did a hell of a job running the band.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and they went into like different iterations of like people working together, right? There was like different, like, almost like the Miles Davis quintet. There was like different seasons of Weather
Yeah,
Report.
yeah. By the time Heavy Weather came out,
Mm.
they had a long history already.
Yeah, right. And that's the famous album, of course, where Birdland is on.
I think it's their best album. Might be the most commercial album, and of course it was on the Billboard charts, and of course there was Birdland on it. We all know that, but still, those tunes were the best they ever wrote.
A remark you made, a beautiful ballad, right? It's such a that's maybe even my favorite piece on that album. It's
Hmm.
such a beautiful ballad. I really like that.
Uh-huh.
The saxophone. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And,
I wrote my graduate work on that.
oh, really?
Yes, I did. Uh-huh. Yeah, music was one of my main what do you call them? Disciplines anyway.
Yeah, in school,
In
like.
school, yeah. Uh-huh. And I asked the teacher if I was allowed to write over a remark you made. And
Wow.
although the guy was completely classical and had no idea what I was talking about, he said, "Well, okay, what is it? Can you write it down? We need a chart of it, of course. Do you have a chart?" And I said, "Okay, I'll write one."
Yeah, right.
And I did that, and I analyzed that, and yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Very nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so then after some time, you decided to write a completely new arrangement. Like you kind of tried to like reinvent Birdland,
Yeah,
and
well, reinvent. You can't
well,
really reinvent a tune like that. I mean, it's just great as it is, right?
mm. But still, I mean, it's I think there's a couple of like things you added to it that
Sure.
yeah, let it stand out a little bit. I think.
Yeah, I think it only, to me, it only made sense if I could contribute something, well, what new or at least unheard in that tune, because there are so many cover versions of it already, but they more or less stick to what it was. There is this famous Manhattan Transfer thing,
Hmm.
the great Henderson lyrics, and no, John Hendricks lyrics.
I don't know actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
And of course there is let me think, Quincy Jones's version.
Yes, on that
That's a great
on
one.
Back on the Block album.
Did
That's
you hear
fun.
Niacin? Ni-
No,
or
was that?
Niacin or whatever it's pronounced. It's an organ band consisting of John Novello and Billy Sheeran,
Okay,
the crazy bass player, and
Billy
Dave
Sheehan.
Chambers.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fantastic version. And then there's this smooth jazz version by Chuck Loeb,
Yes, I think
uh,
so. Yeah.
and a couple of others.
And big band arrangements, like I played a lots of like big band.
Maynard,
You every
Maynard
big
Ferguson.
band at some point plays Birdland, right? There's like big
Yeah, the
band
famous
versions of
Maynard
those.
Ferguson version with the high notes. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
So there's a couple of those, yeah.
Mhm.
And then there's
But what they all do more or less is they stick to the beat,
mm,
the same kind of 70s disco beat
mm,
actually is, right?
yeah.
This thing. And that's the first thing I thought, okay, you got to change that. If you want to do anything different with it, you got to change the beat.
Hmm.
Give it a new feel. Okay. Why
Mm.
don't we listen to it?
Oh
You
yeah.
see what I came up with.
So I posted the link already, but you guys can of course um, watch it together with us.
Yeah. Do you want to try? Do you want to play the video for a while?
I'll play the video just the beginning maybe.
Okay.
So can you see that? There we are. and then we go into solos, right?
Okay.
That's fun. It's actually, I think it's quite entertaining. I could keep watching.
Yeah, sure.
So
Sure.
no, the arrangement is really nice. Yeah, there's of course. I mean, certain things just have to happen. So,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
you can
Yeah.
really recognize.
I mean, as I said, the first idea was change the feeling and the beat of it. And so the basic idea was to come up with a kind of African 6/8, right? Because I knew Arno, our drummer, is a master of 6/8 beats, and he's also a master of blending them into shuffles or like blurring the lines between 6/8 and shuffle and going in and out of that feel. So it was exactly what he needed, I guess. I mean, check out the beginning, what he plays there. Actually, it's totally different from what I've written. It doesn't have anything to do with it. It's even hard to count. Where
Yeah,
is it? It doesn't, right?
totally.
Without a click track, it's really hard to come in on the following riff, right?
Yeah, anyway, the riff is and the riff is also quite tricky. Like the beginning thing, with it's kind of a theme that goes through the arrangement. Yeah, and
Yeah, well, of course.
I really have to count the bars. Yeah,
Yes, that's
till we
because
come in.
there's a 5/8 inserted. Let me show you
Mm.
let me show you the score. Okay, yeah. Okay, now you can see the score.
Yeah, there we are. Uh-huh.
Right, here we are. Okay, so you see, here's the drum pattern. Got nothing to do with with Arno plays, as I
Yeah.
said. Yeah. I went do ding ding that was my idea. What he does is something like that. Okay, anyway.
So Bimi says it's kind of a Rosanna groove. Yeah, I mean it has this like
It's a kind of second line thing, I think,
yeah,
what he plays.
but it's more African inspired, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
and
really
it's quite tricky
very
to
tricky.
count. Yeah,
Very tricky. Okay, and here's the riff, because I definitely didn't want to start with
yeah, right.
this thing. This thing. There have been too many versions of Birdland going this.
Right.
Okay, so I thought, well, why don't we all come in on a loud kind of rock riff, and then smooth it down to this,
Right.
the bass synth. Okay, the riff itself is just an angular pentatonic line, like right. So it's kind of a descending line in a sequence. Next thing, next one. Okay, and now I break it up to an ascending line. And the last 5/8, that's what's really throwing you off,
Yeah, right.
right? It's quite unexpected. But that way, the bass synth, the following bass synth, sounds fresh. It's
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
a
That's right. Yeah.
nothing but a cheap trick, actually.
You just cut a note and then
Yeah,
nobody knows where you are.
yeah,
But
exactly.
it's a great line. Yeah. Like that's
Yeah, right.
pure fusion, right?
As you can see, there are different meters. Here it's 9/8, uh, 2 bars of 9/8, and then it changes to 6/8, and finally to 5/8.
Right. So there's nothing you play just like that. So
Yeah, well,
you really have to
uh-huh.
look at that.
It's supposed to be a little confusing and a little bit of an alarm flag.
Right.
Watch out, this is different. That's not that's what I intended.
Right, right.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
And then we start out with the like with the theme. I mean, there's not so many tunes where you can like through the first three notes you can really right away what it is, right?
The
So
thing with Birdland is that every line is a great riff in itself.
yeah.
Every line Joe Zawinul developed here is like the whole thing has been compared quite often to a Count Basie tune,
Hmm.
which is right. I think
Mm.
it could be a Count Basie big band tune
Mm.
arranged in that vein and with the Count Basie rhythm section. I'm not sure if they don't have an arrangement of it.
Mm.
They probably do,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
this
I mean,
this
to me, it's sometimes like Ravel's Bolero or something.
really.
It's. I mean, just the concept of the tune. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
there's a couple of things that are really like they keep repeating, and then other stuff comes in and on top, and but everything is so singable. Like
Okay.
each one is like a real hook line. You can really sing that, right?
Well, anyway, the synth bass line to me is the trombone line in a Count Basie arrangement, right?
Right,
Uh,
right.
like in octaves and with the bass trombone
Yeah,
at the bottom octave, right? Right?
right. Yeah, right.
Like that.
Exactly, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay, and then the saxes would come in and they would play,
yeah. Right.
uh,
Exactly,
uh,
exactly.
maybe only the
Yeah.
tenors first, only two tenors, and then the altos on top, and maybe a little harmony, like whatever.
Interesting. That's right. Yeah.
No? Okay.
Interesting.
So, well, what did I do now? Oops. Okay. I don't know where that is now. Must be my mouse. It does funny things sometimes. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a of course, and then we go into the real tune, right?
Yeah, and then we go into the real tune, right?
Yeah. And then at some point we go to like we come back to this intro phrase, right? We come back to that.
It was a
And
challenge in itself to get the sound of the bass synth right.
I think so.
Uh,
How did you do that actually?
on my Prophet 6, which is a nice little synth. It's a predecessor of no, it's a it's a successor of the famous Prophet 5. I've got it here.
Hmm.
That thing, this thing. Great.
There it is.
Yeah, here it is. Yes, it's much smaller than the original,
Hmm.
and the sound is more slim and fits better into a mix. But still, it's really fat and distinct.
It's a great instrument. Yeah.
Great instrument. Yeah. Joe Zawinul used to play Prophets too.
Okay.
He had a Prophet 5 and later switched on to a Prophet T8. So that sound is quite related to him anyway.
Mm. So you really try to like make it sound like the original.
Oh, not copy it, but
Okay.
not copy it, but make a sound in its own right that
Hmm.
that can stand up to his sound.
Hmm. I see.
Uh,
Mm.
his Birdland sound was made on a ARP 2600, which is kind of a modular system, well,
Hmm.
semi-modular actually, um, and it has a reverb built in,
Okay.
spring reverb.
Really?
Yes,
And a guitar amp.
and you can really hear that spring reverb on the original recording.
Interesting.
There is this bow from the resonance of the filter. I showed you that a few weeks ago,
Hmm.
and this bow really triggers the spring
Okay.
so that it kind of rattles.
Hmm. Hmm. it probably was loud too, so
Yeah,
maybe that real thing was
much like on a twin reverb.
right, right.
The Fender twins, they do that too.
Yeah,
Right? This rattling kind of reverb.
of course. Like if this thing is shaking or something, you can really hear like the
Yeah, yeah.
string.
Yes, but also if you play a telly loud into a twin, you can hear that.
Right.
It's kind of every note gets a little twang, twang, twang,
Hmm.
from there,
Hmm.
from that famous reverb. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. No, and then after, let's see. Should I put on maybe the guitar chart? Or do you want to keep going with the
Whatever.
video chart? Maybe just for fun, we could look at how the guitar part looks like.
The guitar part is actually quite challenging, isn't it?
Yeah, I
It's not
really.
as easy as it looks. I realized that when I tried to play it myself. I thought,
Well,
okay, switching from that riff to
it
the
doesn't
melody
look.
to this to that. Okay, it's not so easy.
It doesn't look easy to me. I mean, there's maybe, yeah, like this is. I mean, pentatonics is not foreign for guitar players.
Yes, but that line is.
So that line is, yeah, because it's. Sometimes I hear it like if that almost if there's the one, but didn't, but whatever, yeah,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, you could count it as you like,
whatever, yeah.
right?
But of course, I really had to practice this. This was it's also not yeah, it's not really fast, but it is totally challenging.
Triplets at 140. Well, da 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 da.
Yeah,
Oh, well, you better know the tune.
yeah. No, you really have to look at that, of course, at first. Yeah, but then, of course, the melody. Since everybody kind of knows the melody, that's not so hard to play. Yeah,
Yeah, and
but
you did a great job with your flageolet wah wah stuff right there.
yeah, it's
Great. Hmm.
at some point you have to figure that if you like play this a couple of times, then it's of course
Hmm.
something has to happen.
Yes. Well, that is actually a blues phrase. Yeah.
Right, very much so. Yeah, and then after this thing, yeah,
Hmm.
um,
The bass comes in
the bass comes in
and
exactly
joins you. Uh-huh.
on the
And
same
you guys do this thing together.
exactly,
Uh-huh.
and then we go back to this intro
Hmm.
phrase. Yeah, we go
Yeah,
back to
because
this thing.
every at that point everybody would be expecting, of course, what?
Yeah, right,
So throw them off a little and tell them
exactly. So you just break
not
that.
what you think.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, you surprise them by
Spice
putting
a little. Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Keep
it's a
them
little variation on this thing, yeah.
Mhm.
Because we come out on, then we come out here, bong, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's fun. It's really
Yeah.
rocking at that point, I think.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we go into this next section where we
Yeah.
have this famous
Right.
bass part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
nice thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then we stop here, and then you really change the harmonies.
Hmm. Brought some fresh harmonies into it, right?
Yeah. So it's
Well, you would do that in a big band arrangement, maybe too.
right. Maybe
This,
yeah.
which is a simple E flat triad over a D flat bass. And
Right.
it solves, of course, back to G.
Mm. Yeah. So this is yeah also fun, like a great sound to have the bass play over it. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then we put this little pentatonic line again inside, right?
Hmm.
And stay there. Yeah. And then that's also cool. Here we have this famous phrase:
Hmm.
only guitar and drums.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no saxophone
Hmm.
in Groove Galaxy.
Hmm.
So we
Right. In
got
a
this
big band
line.
arrangement, that would be maybe the saxes and trombones that do
Hmm.
maybe the trombones do the bass or whatever. Maybe it's just the bass player pumping boom ba boom ba boom ba boom ba boom ba boom ba boom whatever.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
hmm
But now the bass job is Arno's one. Maybe he's playing drums, or like, and he's just
Yeah,
as pumping with the
yeah.
drums. Yeah. And then we got this, and it keeps repeating. It's just
hmm
also such a singable
Uh-huh.
melody, right? One
Right.
more hook line.
Uh-huh. I wrote "Mach mehr draus." You guys
Yeah.
can do that. What is that in English? Enhance it, I'd say, right?
Yeah. So
Enhance it a little, or own it, maybe.
do something.
Yeah, yeah, do something with it. Mhm.
Yeah.
But you actually stuck to that phrase. You didn't change the phrase. You just changed the phrasing, right?
Yeah, and I changed the sound. I think I'm
Uh-huh.
putting the in
hmm
the wah wah at some point.
hmm Yeah.
Of course, that's
Mhm.
maybe also I wasn't brave enough, because you have to really like what else you gonna play? It's just a amazing sound, amazing phrase. I mean, yeah. And there's also power in the repetition, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you could play around it, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Whatever.
Right. Right. Of course.
But you don't
Nice.
have to, of course. As you said, there's power in repetition.
Uh,
An old Count Basie principle. Yeah.
yeah. And then we go into this, like, since there's so much movement going on, we go. Yeah.
You just play a power chord, but
Yeah.
the keys and the bass do that. The bass does this,
Yeah.
right? hmm
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe we can we can go
Let's
through
listen to
that.
it again at that point, I think.
Right. Let's go back to the video.
hmm hmm We can listen to it right from the start. That's okay. Just
Right from
listen
the,
to it again, so if you don't know the arrangement so well, you'll realize a little bit more what is
of
going on
course, that's a
after we
that's a good
discuss
idea.
it.
Let's try that.
Mhm.
Let's go back to the whole thing. What a drum groove. Yeah, and there we go.
There we go. Right.
And there we go into the outro, which is
Yeah.
a totally different story, but nice,
Outro?
yeah.
That's not the outro, it's the chorus.
It is, yeah.
The chorus.
That's right.
Yeah, and that chorus presented a special difficulty to me for some reason.
Okay,
Because everybody knows.
right.
Well, of course, you could just present that, and I realized in the comments to that video that some people were a little bit disappointed because they'd really like to hear that melody prominent. But my idea was different. I thought, well, at that point, everyone knows the chorus anyway. Anybody wanting to hear Birdland
Yeah,
knows that melody so well.
mm,
You don't really have to stick it in his face, right?
right. Yeah,
Is that really necessary? Why don't I use it as a kind of background, like like a chant, maybe? Huh?
yeah.
Imagine it with an African choir, huh? And some instrument playing over it and enhancing that feel. And that's why I came up with that guitar, which I imagine as a little bit of an West African feel.
Oh, yeah. Like a triadic kind of thing, or like a yeah.
This is this sneaky thing that those guys play so well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've ever checked that stuff out.
There's so much beautiful stuff going on there. Yeah.
I was into that for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the well, what, mid '80s.
Uh-huh.
I really like that. I had
Oh,
some.
great stuff. Great stuff, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we can
yeah,
check that
and
actually.
that's a challenging part, isn't it? It's hard to play.
Oh, yeah.
For the,
That's
for the
of
guitar,
course,
it's a hard part for the guitar.
and it's like if you would play just like it is there, if you play the solo
Hmm.
and then you have two beats to go to that thing,
Yeah, I know.
that's
I know.
that's not so easy, but of course, yeah,
Playing
you
your
have
heart out on that rock thing,
yeah,
on
exactly.
on the solo, and then going back to a discipline of of reproducing a phrase like that exactly as written and in the pocket and everything. You
Yeah,
know?
that's also not so easy to play. I remember practicing quite a bit,
Yeah. That
just starting really slow.
to clean and then a switch of hats.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go. That makes you a real pro.
But I remember I really had to shed this part especially to get it, yeah, to get it clean, and also that it's quite a tempo,
Uh-huh.
yeah, to play that in. It's
How do you actually do it? It's a right hand challenge, right? It's a challenge for the right hand.
you know what, I don't really remember, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really have to check it out again. Yeah, yeah, like that. So you really have to.
You start with a downstroke or what?
Yes. Well, that's the tricky part if you play triplets. You have two options. You can either go down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah. But I see it as it's just alternate picking. Down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
Because you can
Yes.
basically,
Da 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 da. Right?
yeah, because it's kind of 2 against 3, right?
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah.
2 notes, and yeah. And since it's the choice is actually pretty easy because at this point you can really think, okay, where am I going? If I plug this one, I need to go there. Yeah, I need to go this way, and from there on I have to go back.
Yeah.
So I play an upstroke. Yeah. Yeah. So that's not
Yeah.
something you really have to think about.
And you have to
But
omit one string in the right hand. That's what makes
yeah,
it difficult to.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But then also muting the string, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
quite tricky,
The challenging part. Yeah, it's tricky.
yeah. And then of course we got, it doesn't stay like that. We have this other part,
Yeah,
which
because
kind of is like a answering phrase to the first one. But it's really fun to play, yeah.
Mhm.
Great line, I like it a lot. Yeah. But at first I was like, I think that's the tempo, yeah. So I really had to bring it there.
Mhm.
It wasn't there right away. Yeah. But great part, really. Yeah, great part. Maybe we should look at the keyboard chart, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and see what's going on there.
Or just just use the whole score.
Oh
Let me.
yes, if you get it there.
Where's my score? My score's gone again. Uh-huh. Okay. Uh, as I said, my mouse does funny things sometimes. I'll have to change that. Okay, here it is again. And why is it? What's going on here? Huh?
He doesn't want to show it.
Oh,
It's all secrets,
hello.
right?
Hello. Well,
Oh, Pim, that's the part when the
oh,
sound guy tries out all the FX in the console.
yeah, it won't do it now. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know why
yeah.
that is now.
I think I got it. So should I put it on?
Sure, if you will, if you like. Hmm.
There it is. I think I will try. There we got it. Okay.
No, it's gone again. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm.
So we were. So there we get. This is the bass solo, right? There we get the bass. Yeah. And now here's the African
Here's the
part.
chorus. Hmm.
There we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course,
Right.
there is the melody. But
Right.
I mean, I don't really know what they mean because the melody is there, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's block chords, of course. Hmm?
Yeah.
It's what you'd expect.
Yeah. So it's of course maybe not as strong, but it's still there. It's not like totally
Yeah.
gone.
Well, on a studio production, maybe I'd have doubled and enhanced the lead line.
Okay.
Of course, like some trumpets on it on top or whatever.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
maybe.
live, almost a live performance
Yeah.
in the studio.
Yeah. But
So.
as I said, I like it as a kind of backdrop.
Hmm.
And it's because that sound is very wide. It's pushed to the sides anyway, and in the middle there's this sneaky neaky guitar.
Yeah.
So
This
the
guy.
two get together, get along quite well.
Mm. No, that's a great part, I think. Yeah. And we keep going, right?
Hmm.
Chorus two.
Right. Well, that's kind of straight weather report. What the keys do is very Zawinul actually. This is remarkable.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Straight out of the big band arranger's book.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Contrary motion.
Mhm,
Bass goes down, melody
mhm.
goes up, right? It's
Uh,
cool.
and so I had to see that the guitar gets along with it. It doesn't clash.
Yeah. Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
so wait a minute. I, yeah.
Oops.
And
Yeah.
then we go to the
All right.
synth solo, right?
Uh-huh.
Now we got
Then
something
it
else.
calms down a little
Yeah.
in the rhythm section to pedal point. Yeah. And now it's solo time for the synth,
Exactly.
which normally would have been what, a saxophone,
Uh huh.
I'd say.
Maybe.
Time,
Yeah.
time for an alto,
Hmm.
a vivid alto solo or something.
Yeah.
Hmm? Okay, we don't have that.
Mm.
I thought, okay, the whole tone of my arrangement is pretty rock inspired anyway, despite of the African beat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as I said, it changes between African and shuffle feelings, and okay, this thing. It's like a power chord.
Right.
Okay, so what do you do over that? Um, I decided to come up with a synth sound that very much mimics an electric guitar.
Okay.
Right? It kind of it's kind of yeah, it's kind of mimicking
Uh,
actually what you're doing on this
right. Right.
pretty much.
Mm.
Only on a synth you can do some weird stuff that you can't even do on a guitar.
Mm. Mm.
If we listen to that, you'll hear it.
Right. 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 Should we go back and listen to it?
I think so.
Let's go and check out the video. We can start at maybe a couple seconds before
Hmm.
where we left off. So let's go back in, maybe around there. Yeah, we can see that that's a guitar solo. And then we go back into the well, and there we go back. So we have to check this out. That's a really cool part.
Yeah, sorry for allowing myself so much space,
So fun.
so much
It's so
camera
fun.
time, but it just had to be done.
It's so fun.
It just had to be done for some
It's
reason.
it's totally fun.
Yeah,
So where
yeah. I
we
mean,
go
there
into
was
this.
as you, as we've seen, there was another challenge. There's this famous part. This thing, actually, like that, is in a big band arrangement. Yeah, this thing. Okay, so what do you do with it? Use the what the synth brass again and
Mm.
do as everybody expects, or come up with something different? And I decided, well, why not make it a piano break?
Right, right. It's
Right?
almost it's like a
So I can
stride
contrast that.
piano 2.0.
Yes, a little bit. So I can contrast that with the synth. That'd be much more fun to do. Actually, if you show the score again, you can see that I even outlined that pretty much in the. I didn't play it exactly as written, but I outlined that in the arrangement. You can see it there.
Yeah. So
Uh,
we go from the synth solo
mhm.
there, right?
Yes, which is a challenge in itself, of course.
Yeah,
But okay.
exactly. Uh,
Hmm.
And then you got,
Yes.
we go into the triplets again.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
It sounds confusing, but actually, there's nothing to it. Harmonically, it's just chromatically descending what diminished triads.
mm. And again, going up
Thing.
in the bass, right?
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay, and the next line is the same triads, only arpeggiated.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And then again,
And then
and
again,
the,
right?
and the guitar comes
And the
in.
guitar comes in. Uh-huh.
The
Yes.
guitar gets,
Gives it a kind of weird sound,
yeah. Mm.
like this. Okay. Okay. And again, a different phrasing of the same stuff.
Mm. Right. And then we're over
Actually,
here.
actually quite cheap. And then over here, a little bit of what is it? A
Yeah.
little bit of bebop. Okay. I call that creative chromatics.
It's really cool.
A little bit of creative chromatics going into some
Mm.
blues pentatonics,
Yeah.
right?
Very cool. Very cool.
And to bring it to an end, where those duplets you see here,
Hmm.
well, actually, they're meant as a token here
Hmm.
for a laid back what would you call that? Yeah, jazz feeling.
Uh-huh.
Something like that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Whatever.
Cool. Cool.
I don't really remember what I played. This is just
Uh,
a yes, it's a token number.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go back to this E flat over D flat, like this Lydian sound.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which gives me another opportunity to show off my Moog guitar,
The Moog guitar. Exactly. So
which is
we are
so much fun.
there, and we have another synth solo, right?
Yeah.
Then we got this line again, but
Right. Derived from the beginning, yeah.
yeah, right.
Hmm.
And then we go on at solo, and then
And then it's again back to
right,
this, and this
exactly.
time it's the bass
Hmm.
starting with, and it's really it's so Jaco what Patrick does here.
Yeah,
It's so Jaco, and also those fills at like 1 minute 30 or 2 minutes. Those fills he plays there, they're so Jaco.
cool.
Can
Really
you
nice.
believe it?
Really nice. Yeah, and the harmonics he does, yeah, on the
Yeah.
melody
Uh-huh.
sounds really great.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, we go back to this melody,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course we get the, yeah,
Okay. What
dum,
everybody
yeah,
expects this time. That part. Mm-hmm.
right.
Everyone knows it anyway. Okay.
Another huge hook line, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bum, gang, 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 gang.
And
Yeah,
and straight into the chorus.
right. We get this again the African feel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm. So
right.
it doesn't get too long.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
We
And
got
this
this.
time I don't. Okay. And this time I don't even play the line. I don't even
Uh-huh.
play.
Right.
I just leave it to you guys. I think everybody knows it's the chorus, and everybody hears the line, and every person hears the line in his
Hmm.
or her head anyway. So
I guess
why
so.
do it?
I guess so.
uh, and I'm sorry I took another synth solo over that
Oh,
with a different sound, but well,
that's what fusion is about.
yeah,
So
obviously, obviously. Hmm.
that's what it's about. Yeah, we go there,
Yeah.
and then we go back into like
Mhm.
the intro
Yeah,
idea.
right. The
Yeah.
original just fades out, right? The original recording.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a clap track over it that doubles like this in the fade
I
out?
don't know actually. Is it?
I don't exactly remember exactly, but I think It's da da da, and then there's a clap.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the taste of the '70s, of course.
Right,
I
right.
think in the fade out that clap just doubles. It's like double
That's
time.
possible. Yeah, I haven't heard it in a while. Uh,
Yeah.
very cool.
Mm.
Yeah, but we need a real ending, right?
Right. We're
Again.
ending it like in 20 like 2020.
Right.
Yeah.
So we go back to the intro idea, and then right.
Bow, bow.
So let's go back and listen to
Hmm.
the ending.
Okay.
Let's find that. Now we go back into maybe the synth solo, and when Patrick starts to play.
All right, here he is.
Yeah, that was a fun day in the at the
Yes.
master mix studio.
Oh man. And you remember we had to do everything ourselves, right? We had to film the stuff. We had to do the recording, everything. We
Yes.
just, we just had the room.
Mm, mm.
Nobody helped us.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
right.
it
That
was
was like our own production.
it was quite a feat. Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it again like that.
Mm, mm.
It's really better
Yeah,
if you can hire some people and just
yeah.
play.
Next time we go in and
Yeah, that's
and
that's
Rico
gonna
is
be much
recording us.
easier, of course.
Yeah, but that was a fun. That was the first uh, video we did, like the
Mm,
first
hmm. That was in
production video.
2018. Mm.
Yes, it's already 3 years ago, right?
Oh,
Oh wow. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's nice. Mm. So great arrangement, really.
yeah, thank you.
Really fun.
Yes. Okay, so you followed up with another one.
Yes,
You
we did
followed up
another one.
with
That's right.
Chameleon. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did Chameleon, and maybe at some point we figure out something and go ahead and do another cover song or something.
Hmm.
So I think, yeah, but let's
Yeah.
see. I mean, now we really have to work on our own music again, and maybe at some point we come up with something like that. But that was really fun. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Ollie, for doing that. That's a cool Cool arrangement, really.
Yeah, thanks for playing that stuff.
Oh, real pleasure. Like,
Of course, it's like if you play for if you write for a four-piece band, everybody has to play a lot to get all the parts covered, right?
right,
Especially with an arrangement like that.
and there's no overdubs. Yeah, so this is like there's not a no second keyboard lines or
Nothing.
no second guitar lines. It's just like everybody has one part
Uh-huh.
that he's
What you
playing. Yeah,
what you what you can play is what you get.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was nice. So actually, Arno called me and he said he might come next week. So we will see.
Okay. So he can
Maybe
he can explain that groove in the beginning to us. He
that
never
would be
did
fun.
that in years.
Yes, that's right.
We'll ask him. Come on, we'll do that.
So we'll see. Maybe there's gonna be. I have to check this. But yeah, maybe there is some drum talk next week. We will see. Yeah, that would be fun.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Tune in next time.
Yes. Thanks everybody for watching.
We'll let you know what we come up with next week. And
Yeah.
well, if you have comments, if you have whatever suggestions, just let us know.
Exactly. Um, other than that, we're gonna find something to talk about. But
Yeah, of course.
yeah. But let's see. Maybe Arno will join us next week, and we
Sure.
talk some drums.
Into the infinite world of fusion music and maybe drums next time.
That'll be fun. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks
Take care.
everybody.
Yep. See you next week.
Have a good night.
Yep.
Thanks, Oli.
Bye. Bye. Bye.